Hallo, ik ben Sharon van Within Tempation.
En ik ben Ruud Jolie.
Alright, we're here in New York City with Within Temptation. Welcome to the Big Apple.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
It's great.
Love it.
So far so good?
Yeah.
So far so cold.
We had a really nice road trip so far, so the taxis, crazy taxis in New York. But you know that, of course. Not telling anything new.
Yeah, obviously we're here to talk about Hydra, your new album. I think what is cool about you guys is you're always pushing your own envelope. You've always been a very diverse band, but I think with this one, it's like you're making a statement.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't about making a statement, but it's more like that we've more than ever tried to get inspired by different kind of music, and we felt like we had an idea how to, for instance, combine this song with Xzibit, for instance, which is probably the most special song on the album because nobody expected this, of course, and neither us actually with the previous album was like, let's do something with hip hop. No, no. And so it was like we felt like we had an idea how it could work because, of course, there have been bands like Aerosmith and Run DMC who have done similar kind of things, but that's American rock, of course, with hip hop or similar to what we've done. And anyway, this is the first time I think a little bit more a European band has done this, and European bands do sound different than the American ones actually. So, and it was like for us a chance to combine the two. Never thought it would work, but luckily for us it did work. And yeah, it's just thinking of new things and thinking what could work and would be cool from a musician perspective, of course.
How did the collaboration come about with Xzibit?
Well, we were thinking of him actually. We were thinking when we wrote the songs, like who would like to have there, and it's like, and he was actually our first name on top of the list because he's old school and we like the old school kind of hip hop. So and especially Rob because he has a lot of friends who always like give him stuff like you should listen to this and this is cool, and so he's always listened to hip hop more or less, and even when we were in high school, and so but anyway, yeah, you know, he knew already that Xzibit was a rapper. I didn't know actually because I only knew him from Pimp, but I knew it was a cool guy because you know I know the program and he's just just cool to everybody. You know, it was like anyway, but. Yeah, we felt like, you know, he's a guy that experiments a lot with his music also. He does things with heavy guitars, but also with orchestra. And he has this really deep and dark voice. And it really matches with mine because I have this light voice. So it's like a good contrast. And, you know, you think, oh, I'm listening to a Within Temptation song. Yeah, cool song. And then all of a sudden he just punches you, you know, with his voice.
Throat.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah,
it's just
it's really
gives a
nice.
right edge to it.
How's been the reaction so far? You know, obviously, you know, even around the country, obviously promoting the album. How's been the reaction so far, especially with the new guests on board and obviously like pushing the envelope as I said before?
Well, really great. Yeah, people really seem to like the new songs and stuff, and no, that's always great to hear that after you've been working on a new album for months, and that when finally people can listen to it, that they actually like what you've been doing all that time. That's, you know, that's great. That's almost what you're doing it for. So yeah, we're really happy with all the reactions that we get that we've gotten so far.
And how do you guys accomplish such a big sound? Since day one, you've always had a big sound. As soon as you hear Within Temptation, you know it's Within Temptation. So what do you tell us a little bit about maybe some of the secrets you have to be able to write such big music?
Well, you know, it depends a little bit on which record you're listening to, but it's more because the first album, we've always sounded more or less epic, you know, and but yeah, I think probably the classical part makes it big, probably. But on this album, I think it was more guitar oriented. We do have it, but it's more minimalized, you know, like more like not like it should be everywhere, like we thought in the past always. But now it's more like does it make sense also? And it's still in a lot of songs, but not as upfront as it used to be. But it's I think Within Temptation mostly stands for melancholy in a way, and storytelling stories, you know, like this music themes or movie themes kind of music it is, I think.
And why Hydra?
Hydra, well, okay. Well, Hydra stands for, we have so many different kind of styles of music within our music always, but now even more than ever actually, and we're also looking back at older albums, taking some older elements from that and putting it back into this album, like the growling voice we have, like 1 or 2 songs, and we never did that since the first album actually, so. But also bringing it back in a new way, not with operatic voice, but with a normal, more natural way of singing that I do. So, but that, and we have twin guitars, we have, you know, it's just, every head stands for a certain character of music that we have. So it's
different collaborations.
Different collaborations also, it stands for the diversity of the band, and especially on this album.
Do you guys still get to write together in the rehearsal room, or it's more like, you know, internet-based like most bands are these days?
More on our own. Everybody has their own studio. We have our own studio. We have, and so he records his own stuff at home and he sends it to us.
Yeah, the least as least human contact as possible. That was the motto for the recording of this album. No, but that's a joke. But it's really convenient, you know, if everybody has his own studio, and you know, I was able to record my guitar parts whenever I was feeling like it, or. No, whenever I felt inspired, and it's great, you know, it's a great way of making music these days.
Yeah. And also because we don't live all in one place, we all scattered out, you know, spread out over the whole of the Netherlands, so, and one guy even lives in Sweden, so, you know, to make it easy, the internet is just perfect for this.
Growing up in the Netherlands, how did that influence you not only as musicians, but as, you know, persons?
Ooh, that's a very good question, because I don't have anything to compare it with, you know.
Well,
yeah, maybe it's easier for you because you've been living abroad.
You know, it depends on what time you look at it. You know, which year, or not the year, but maybe like what 10 years, like a certain time, a period of time. When I was growing up, the first 10 years I lived outside of Holland. I came back into Holland, and we had this, like now, a big crisis. And I came back from a country called Suriname, and there was a lot of living outdoors, and when I came back to Holland it was really, you know, there's so many people, it's a little bit cramped, you know, that's how it felt like, and so, but also society was at that time, so maybe it's difficult to say because it's in different kind of times, of course, nowadays things are different again, but at that time we had recession. And I came back to Holland, I looked different. The first day in school I got beaten up. And Robert had the same thing. He came back from Spain because his parents were living there also on this project basis, like my parents were always. And we both got beat up in the first day of school. It was like, and you know, because we were different. People noticed we were different. We had a different kind of, I don't know, we looked different. We were a new kid on the block, and I was like, okay, you can punch them. So I hated Holland actually, and but when I got used to how things were in Holland, because I really had to learn that because it was not easy, you know. I came to a very small village, so it was, yeah. For me it was a hard time at the time, but you know, growing older it became easier, and it was just also maybe because I think I was not the regular kind of kid. I liked different kind of music, and you know, I wasn't a kid that listened to what everybody liked, and I was not a person that would follow everybody just because I had to. You know, I just had so yeah, and I'm not that very easy person, so maybe that's also a reason. But later on, well, nowadays when we come back.
I'm just confirming what you just said.
Okay. Well, anyway, love you too, baby.
Thanks.
And anyway, nowadays, you know, I do like Holland because we do have our freedom of speech, the way of things, looking at things. There's certain things I do really appreciate about living in Holland, and I do like it. I have a lot of friends now, and it's like so different than the first day I came back from abroad and had to really learn how this social kind of thing worked. So yeah.
What were you listening to growing up?
Well, I was really this hard rock girl also, and I listened to different kind of things, but my parents were always listening to Deep Purple and those kind of, you know, Black Sabbath, Pink Floyd, ELO, also Queen, and you know, but I was a rock girl, and everybody, when I was a teenager, everybody was listening to dance music, and it was not the kind of dance that I liked very much, so it was, Yeah, so, but I also liked Dolly Parton, for instance. I was like really like split up. I just always liked music for what it was. I didn't really fit it in a certain category also, but because I just liked songs that for what it was. Music is beautiful, a song is beautiful. I might not like everything the artist does, but I just could appreciate that. And yeah, and most teenagers are always like, yeah, you have to be like this, you have to be like that. And of course, people have to try to find their own identity, of course.
How about you?
Well, my parents listened to John Denver, Dolly Parton, Kenny Rogers, and the Beatles, of course.
Oh, Beatles as well.
And so I grew up on that. But when I was about 12, I got this cassette tape from a friend of mine with the Life After Death concert of Iron Maiden, and that started my heavy metal journey. So, I started to collect everything that Iron Maiden did. After that, I went a little bit heavier with bands like Anthrax and Megadeth, Metallica, and stuff like that. And I took it from there, and since then, I've been really listening to a lot of metal, but not only metal. I studied jazz at the conservatory, so I was also into jazz for quite a long time. But I'm pretty much the same like Sharon. If it's a good song, it's a good song, and then it doesn't matter who sings it or what style it's in, or whatever. I think it's also very important as a musician that you are very open-minded to every style of music.
Yeah, you can learn from everything. Yeah.
And how old were you when you started writing music, and maybe you said, you know what, I want to do this as a living?
My parents and myself, I was a really big Queen fan, and when he died, they had this, what was it, the arena show they give?
Wembley Stadium.
Yeah, I saw that on television, and everybody was in front of the television, the whole family, like, oh my God, everybody doing all these beautiful songs and honoring him, and I also had seen the movie of the Doors. And I don't know, I was really inspired by the way they were writing lyrics and stuff. And I went upstairs and wrote my first song, actually. And I still have the lyrics somewhere. I don't know how the melody went anymore. But I remember doing that, like, okay, I would really like to write songs. It was more giving into the emotion that I had from, Freddie Mercury actually dying. And writing a first song, actually, yeah.
How about you?
Well, it was, I don't know. I was about 15 when I got into my first band, and it was just the normal way of making music. Just get into a rehearsal room with a couple of people and just start jamming and see whatever comes out, and that was pretty much it. So I never in the beginning I never sat down to really write a song. I was just fooling around on my guitar and somebody's playing drums over it, and so I don't think that the very first songs were really that good.
Oh, the song that I wrote was probably crap.
But
it's really
great.
a learning process.
Yeah, I recently found the very first demo that I recorded with that band.
How cool that is.
Yeah, so I might digitalize it, make MP3s of it, and I don't know, maybe put it online somewhere, just for people to have a laugh.
Anything you want to tell the fans right now?
We hope to be back very soon in the United States, and we had such a warm welcome. We had this place we played acoustically, V-Vinyl, and we played in Los Angeles. What was it called again in Los Angeles?
The Joint.
The Joint, and so many people came and gave us such a warm feeling. It was really cool, and that we haven't been playing America for quite a while, and it was really nice being back and getting such a warm welcome, and people didn't forget about us. They brought even their friends, like introducing them to us. So.
Yeah. Great.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.